You're not sleeping together anymore and haven't slept together since September. Just walking around.
She screams and cries like she don't know you, like she's screaming bloody murder.
I loved him so much when we got together.
Had my best interest at heart.
Drama. Without just saying from the beginning
Go away with your son.
that she did not do right by you. Look at her! Trying to establish.
In a courtroom filled with anticipation, the DNA results are finally disclosed by the court. The tension mounts as everyone awaits the truth about the paternity of 22-month-old Nevaeh. The impact of the results on both Mr. Ahmad and Mr. Flowers is evident, and the court acknowledges the complexity of the situation, where legal and biological parenthood diverge.
So, Miss Smith, you, all of this time, knew Malachi existed.
Yes.
Knew who he was.
Yes.
Your nieces talk about him.
Yes.
But never knew
Never knew.
he could potentially be your nephew.
Never knew. Never.
So when did Miss Laster make you aware, and how did she go about telling you? Just saying that, you know, this could be your
My
nephew, it really could?
Yes.
And then when you asked her, why would you tell me what's going on?
In a riveting twist, Miss Laster reveals the compelling evidence she discovered that might prove Malachi's true paternity. Her discovery of Malachi's speech impediment and a conversation with Travis's ex-lover Tess leaves everyone in suspense. Miss Laster's timeline of events raises intriguing questions about the potential father's identity.
Reason I can say for sure that it is his, not only did Malachi started stuttering first, so it kind of threw me for a loop because none of my children had speech impediments. I called Tess and I was like, hey, is this normal? Have Travis had these issues in the past? And she was like, yeah, he used to stutter when he was a kid. So I was like, well, you know, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, most definitely, okay, that he's most definitely his.
In a jaw-dropping revelation, Miss Laster drops a bombshell in court, eliminating one potential father from the equation with a shocking 99.9% certainty. The judge and audience are taken aback by the unusual result, sparking a wave of suspense and confusion.
So why do you just eliminate him? Because that's just 2 weeks.
Okay, well, the other man, we had some things going on for us, court issues with our children, with our 2 children, and they had to be DNA tested. So I had Malachi DNA tested too, which came out to be 99.9% not his. So that's how I know for sure he's not the other guy.
The truth surrounding Jagori's paternity remains uncertain as Miss Laster's revelations raise doubts about her knowledge. With only a narrow 2-week conception window, the stakes are higher than ever. The courtroom is filled with anticipation as they wait to uncover the real father of Jagori and the heart-wrenching reality behind this complex case.
The child, Jagori, and Dolores Smith. When it comes to 3-year-old Jagori, the percentage of relatedness between Ms. Dolores Smith and Jagori, 0.00%. You are not related.
In a heart-wrenching ending, the DNA test reveals the devastating truth that there is no viable relationship between Malachi and Dolores Smith. With emotions running high, the courtroom is filled with sadness and disbelief. Both Miss Smith and Miss Laster are left shattered by the results, realizing the gravity of the situation.
The percentage of relatedness between Ms. Dolores Smith and Malachi Laster is 0.00%. You are not related.
Oh, wow.
Lisa Williams, with her 2 sisters, seeking clarity on her paternity due to what they allege as their mother's promiscuous behavior in the past. Their mother, Miss Liddell, admits to her past mistakes but believes her daughters are still holding grudges. Lisa, as the youngest, feels she has always been an outcast and has been lied to since birth.
You are here today with your 2 sisters because you say you're tired of being lied to by your mother, Ms. Liddell. You all claim she wasn't a good mother and say her promiscuous behavior is the reason you need the results of a paternity test today. Ms. Liddell, you admit you haven't been the best mother, but you say your daughters are being unfair.
Lisa Williams recounts an incident from when she was 17 years old, during which she and her mother had a heated argument. In the heat of the moment, her mother remarked that her father wasn't her biological dad. This comment deeply affected Lisa, as she has always had doubts about her paternity.
How do you start getting doubt?
When I was about 17 years old, me and her had an argument, and she said, that's why he's not your father. Trying to hit at a low point, knowing that growing up, that's always been something always eating at me, not knowing who my father was, not knowing who my father was. I feel like at least if she was there to try to take the place of my father, having a mother at least, maybe it wouldn't have bothered me so much, you know? But I didn't have a mother or a father.
Lisa's mother introduced a man as her father, confusing. The mother admitted to her inadequacies, noting she couldn't even love herself. Jamie, Lisa's sister, criticized their mother for placing her in 5 different homes. An intense argument erupted between the daughters and their mother about her parenting efforts.
Lisa, they're your daddy. How is you not gonna know this is my daddy when you look at him? But you tell me that's your daddy.
I was never there. I'll give them that. I wasn't about enough. I didn't even love myself, so how could I love them? I think the best thing that I did was to give them to family. Because if they would stay with me, either they'll be separated or away from me.
She didn't take a chance to try to raise us. I was in 5 different homes. 5.
Mr. Williams joins the court via video conference to address questions about the paternity of Lisa, Jasmine, and Jamie. When asked if he believes he's their father, he admits he doesn't think so, causing an emotional response from the girls, particularly Jasmine, who challenges his sincerity.
And he's agreed to join us by video conference. Mr. Williams, we're here with Lisa, Jasmine, and Jamie, and we're talking about the circumstances regarding their paternity. Do you believe you are their father? You are these young girls' biological father. Do you believe that?
Deep in my heart, yeah, and I hate to say it, and it's hurting me to say it too.
The girls express their deep pain over Mr. Williams' belief that he's not their father. They feel a profound connection to him, as he's the only father they've ever known. However, part of them wishes he wasn't their father because of the emotional pain his doubt causes.
Now, he's expressed that he doesn't truly believe he's your father.
Right, yes ma'am.
And you, in turn, have that same feeling. You've never felt in your heart when you saw this man or...
That's why it hurts so bad, because he is the only father that I ever knew. He is, but it's kind of a part of me, I'm not even gonna lie, it's kind of a part of me that don't even want him to be my father, because what kind of man are you?
Miss Liddell admits to her daughters that she didn't care about them and that they were in her way. This hurtful admission shocks the daughters, especially when Miss Liddell reveals she once told one of them she should have been aborted. Judge Lake intervenes, noting the toxic nature of Miss Liddell's words. Will the mother lose control this time?
Able to come. Why did you miss it?
Jamie, because I was a piece of like I'm not gonna keep down on myself, but I didn't care about y'all. I'm keeping it real. Y'all want me to keep it real? I didn't care about y'all. Because y'all was in my way of doing what I wanted to do.
She told me she should have aborted me. She said I'm not her daughter. She should have aborted me.
I sure did. I sure said that because you know what?
Miss Liddell, hold on.
Miss Owens claims that after a brief romantic relationship and marriage to Mr. Raines, he left her when she became pregnant with their daughter, Jamie. She asserts that Mr. Raines knows he is Jamie's father. Mr. Raines, on the other hand, denies being Jamie's father, arguing that he was living in a different county when Miss Owens became pregnant.
Ms. Owens, you say that after a whirlwind teenage romance and a brief marriage to Mr. Raines, he got you pregnant and then left you high and dry to raise your daughter, Jamie, on your own. You say the defendant is fully aware he is your daughter's father, and you intend to prove this today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Jerome and Judge Lake are discussing the past relationship between an unidentified woman and Mr. Raines. The woman denies cheating on her husband, but Mr. Raines is skeptical due to her frequent absences. He finds it hard to believe she wasn't unfaithful. Mr. Raines then brings up the central issue, suggesting that the timeline of their daughter doesn't add up.
All right, I'm getting all the facts. This is what I need. All right, so you felt like your husband was cheating. I have to ask you, were you cheating too?
No, ma'am, I sure wasn't.
I don't know about that. She went home awful lot. It's just hard to believe for me to believe that she was not cheating. Soon be 27.
So wait a minute, you're saying the timeline doesn't add up in terms of when Ms. Rowe was conceived?
Exactly.
Judge Lake is analyzing the timeline presented by both parties. Mr. Raines claims he was not with Miss Owens in October, the proposed window of conception. Miss Owens disagrees and insists he was with her during that time. When questioned further about her certainty, Miss Owens recalls getting pregnant in October.
That she was with you in October and you brought her back to her parents and said do something with her. If that was October, that's during the window of conception.
I was gone in October.
No, you are not.
I know this for a fact that I was gone.
He was not.
In October.
All right, sir,
for a fact.
you may step back down
Thank
to the
you, Your
podium.
Honor.
Ms. Owens, you say you know for a fact he was not gone then. How do you know that for a fact?
Because that's when I got pregnant.
Miss Owens took her daughter Jamie to see Mr. Raines when she was 2 weeks old, but he still had doubts about paternity. Even though they were married, Miss Owens did not put Mr. Raines on Jamie's birth certificate, referencing Kentucky's law that doesn't require a father's name on it.
Loved anybody like that again. I actually took her to see him when she was 2 weeks old.
And when you saw her, what did you...
There was still doubt, you know, there's still doubt. There's always been doubt.
And did you put him on the birth certificate, Miss Owens?
No, ma'am, I did not.
You did?
No. Correct. In the state of Kentucky, you do not have to put the child's father on the birth certificate.
On Jamie Corenda Owens' birth certificate, there is no father listed. Even though in most states a husband is presumed to be the legal father, Mr. Raines' name was not on it. However, he did receive a letter about child support and took financial responsibility for Jamie, despite his doubts.
It did not say
So this is
father
a birth
and child.
certificate
My
you
name
have
is not on the
presented.
birth-
This is
my
a
name-
birth certificate.
My name is
That's
not.
And this is the
Proof of
birth
birth.
certificate for Jamie Corenda Owens, and the baby was born to Clara Dean Owens.
No father's name on it.
And there is no father listed on this birth certificate.
Exactly.
So did you pay or did you prove?
I paid. I took responsibility of her.
In the courtroom, Miss Owens revealed that Mr. Raines expressed doubt about being Jamie's biological father 6 months ago. Despite earlier testimonies, this conversation was not previously mentioned. Mr. Raines acknowledged the possibility of another man being Jamie's father. Will this mother keep calm or lose control in paternity court?
Okay, well, I get told by Mr. Raines months ago that he didn't know if I was even his daughter or not.
Miss Owens, you have not testified to that yet. In everything that you've said thus far in this courtroom, you left out that one very important conversation. So you did tell her that someone else could be her biological
I
father.
said there's a possibility.
So there
I was already pregnant and did not know it.
You did. Okay, whatever.
All right, guys, meet Mr. Lang, a father with doubts as big as a giant's ego. He just couldn't wrap his head around the fact that his lovely daughter Janelle might not be his. Wanna know why? Because his wife had committed infidelity with his friend from the sandbox.
Why are you so certain this child isn't your son's?
Because I found out that Miss Brown slept with my son's best friend, from the sandbox best friend, and I don't think she know whether it's my son's or Mr. Dixon's.
Oh, really? Is that true?
No,
Ms.
that's
Brown?
not true, Your Honor. I've never slept with Mr. Dixon. Mr. Dixon and Mr. Lang have been not friends for a while. They've been going at it, trying to fight each other, trying to find each other.
As the session proceeded, it was revealed that Mr. Lang, the Casanova himself, had allegedly been a real gentleman, cheating with a mere 50 girls. So Daddy Lang isn't exactly an innocent lamb in this twisted tale of love and betrayal. Shocking, isn't it?
Girl, why would I tell you the truth? It's my son. Knock it
Okay,
off.
I don't knock you for that.
Your mother lied for you, girlfriend.
No,
So
I
knock
don't
it
have
off.
no reason to lie for her.
Knock it off.
I don't have no reason to lie
The
for
only
her.
got a reason you got
Okay,
one
let's
now.
get some more. Let's get some more. I want to understand this. You were together. He was doing his cheating. Were you sleeping with anybody else
No.
as well?
Not that we know of, Your Honor.
And it's none of your
Everything on
business.
the list.
What in a world is happening here? Seems like both the grannies were in a relationship, not the kids. Gimme a break. Well, they both didn't care whether they were in a courtroom or their backyard. Just look how the defendant kept on with her truck horn.
I stayed out of the relationship. When they was going back and forth on
My mom was
on
never
Facebook,
in it.
I never got in it because
she was always
they,
in it.
I was
She
hoping
was
that
always
they
in
would
it.
work it out.
I want to get this over with.
You want to be respectful in the courtroom.
Okay.
And set that example for your children, because ultimately, let's be honest, there's a child here.
Upon finding the pregnancy news, Mr. Lang was happy. But like they say, there are always dark clouds before the rain. He got a call from Mr. Dixon AK. Hey, the sandbox buddy. That won't be too happy, sir. The baby ain't yours. Whoa, what a surprise call.
Was this before or after the baby was born?
Before.
Ms. Brown, do you have any idea why another man, Mr. Dixon in particular, would say he's the father?
No, Your Honor. And I've never slept with him. Me and him was not even cool. When we even seen each other, we wouldn't say nothing to each other. We just look at each other. When we were cool, it was never like that. It was always a group of friends.
So why would he do that?
They were enemies.
However, Mr. Lang initially thought the baby was his due to some physical features, like the baby's hairline, but later had doubts about it. Isn't that keen observation? Well, the granny has been supportive at that point, but what also shifted her state of mind, I wonder?
Facebook posts of him talking about, oh, this is my baby.
Right.
Oh, he has pictures that he's posted of them together.
Right, he
Oh,
loves
you
her.
can't doubt that this is my baby.
He loves her.
Like he has a lot of pictures
No
saying
doubt.
that. So there was no doubt after the baby was born.
He loves
Jerome,
her.
let me see that evidence. So,
Oh, he loves the baby, no doubt.
Ms. Brown, now your mother said she thought she was only there to figure out if the baby looked like them or not.
I don't really care about his mother. It's about me and him.
According to Miss Brown, the plaintiff's mother has always been involved in disputes on Facebook, and that was something that was believed to be the root cause of the doubts. Not all old people have problems using social media, but how about we ask this to Granny?
No.
Yes.
She's going back 2 years ago, Your Honor.
So you did it?
Yeah, I did it.
Okay, but you just lied to the judge and say you didn't do it.
Girl, knock that off. But anyway, that maybe 2 years ago, when they first got started together, she always thought I was saying things to him against her. But I was always for her. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Why are you talking to her? Aren't you in Chanel?
To wrap up this situation and stay focused on the central issue, it's evident that an innocent child has been caught up amid adult conflicts, which is undeniably unfair. However, this is precisely the moment when the paternity court intervenes. All right, Judge Lake, without wasting any more time, how about we read those results?
When it comes to 1-year-old baby Janelle, Mr. Lang, you are not the father.
Are you serious?
Ma'am, we're not going to have that kind of language in this courtroom.
Miss Holthouse is in court to establish the paternity of her 3-month-old son, Zayden. She admits that the father could either be a man she had a relationship with, who now distances himself from her child, or the defendant, Mr. Shinewald. Shockingly, Mr. Shinewald is not just any man, but her mother's boyfriend.
Ms. Holthouse, you are here to prove paternity of your 3-month-old son, Zayden.
Yes, Your Honor.
Shockingly, you confess it's either a man you shared a sexual relationship with who wants nothing to do with your child, or the defendant who happens to be your mother's boyfriend. Though you admit you were intimate with your girlfriend's daughter, you say you strongly doubt.
Miss Holthouse recounts a night when she received a phone call from Mr. Shinewald while she was at her grandmother's house. In the call, he mentioned having sex and suggested they meet somewhere. That night, Miss Holthouse snuck out of her grandmother's house to meet him at a park where they ended up having sexual relations.
Relationship with your mother's boyfriend.
I had not really thought about it until I got a phone call from him. And he was talking about having sex and going somewhere. I snuck out of my grandma's house that night. We went to a park.
And what happened at the park?
We had sexual relations.
So you got a phone call while you're at your grandmother's house?
Yes, Your Honor.
What did he say?
What did I mean by that text that I sent him? I didn't mean anything about it at that.
Miss Holthouse admits to sneaking around with her mother's boyfriend, Mr. Shinewald, often when her mother is away or even asleep in the same house. During one instance, her mother almost caught them, finding Miss Holthouse with her pants unzipped. This discovery led to intense arguments between mother and daughter.
Holthouse, how were you sneaking around behind your mother's back with her boyfriend? What were you doing?
We would just, when she's not there, she left to go somewhere. Sometimes when she's sleeping.
In her house?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did she ever almost catch you?
Yes, and when she did,
what happened?
She caught me standing in front of her, my pants unzipped.
Jerome instructs a woman to approach the witness stand next to Judge Lake. As she takes her seat, the court discusses the unsettling revelation that Mr. Shinewald had been involved in a sexual relationship with both the woman's daughter, Miss Holthouse, and herself concurrently.
So tell me what happened.
Well, at the moment I did not know, but as my mom was pregnant with my sister, my sister is Mr. Chenault's daughter.
How old is her daughter?
It's about to turn 11 months.
How old is your child?
He is 3 months.
3 months. When you find out you're pregnant, whose child do you think it is?
At the moment, it could have been 2 guys.
Which 2?
Mr. Chenault and another guy.
The court discusses how Miss Holthouse ended up having a relationship with her mother's boyfriend. She recalls that they went to a park where they had sexual relations. When asked if Zayden resembles him, Mr. Shinewald doesn't see a strong resemblance between them, but admits there might be a slight resemblance to the daughter he shares with Miss Bogardus.
Do you see yourself at all? Does he look like you?
No, Your Honor.
You don't think so?
No, Your Honor.
Does he look like the daughter you have with Miss Bogardus?
Maybe a tad bit.
A tad bit?
Yeah. She still brings it up. She still keeps fighting and arguing with me over what happened. I'm not allowed to actually have any, for real, physical contact with Zayden.
The court inquires about the last time Miss Holthouse and Mr. Shinewald were intimate. While Mr. Shinewald initially hesitates, they both eventually confirm it was in September. Judge Lake observes their body language and comments on the tension between them, noting how stiff Miss Holthouse appears in the courtroom.
I want to know, when's the last time you were intimate?
Long time ago.
Miss Holthouse didn't say that. You might as well tell the truth. When was the last time you two were intimate? You're in court, tell the truth.
The last time we were intimate, Your Honor, was about September.
September?
Yes, Your Honor.
Haven't had any more contact?
No, Your Honor.
You know,